Welcome, everyone, to the Apoco-Larry podcast. I'm Steve. He is
Lord Larry.
he's claimed lordship over these lands.
The
Lordship.
British have an expression, by the Lord Harry, don't they? By the Lord Harry.
I don't know that one.
Okay.
No.
I hope it's not something just wrong that
I'm not knowledgeable in the ways of nobility. Um, huh. Huh. Okay. Well, hey, we're going to talk about 1 Samuel 24. Anything that you want to say in terms of an introduction?
Yes, I was going to do. I've the Desert of Engedi. I was going to look that up a little bit more, but I forgot. So it is something. Engedi is something that you do here in modern times.
Okay. Like a Serengeti?
I hope it's not that.
I don't think so. But I just had to throw it out there because it's all I could think of.
Shoot. I'm sure I've heard Engedi.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay with that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Okay. Well, for those of you playing the at-home edition, hey, we're in chapter 24. As I said, we're going to start at verse 1 like we normally would. And Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines. He was told, after Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines, he was told, David is in the desert of En-Gedi. So Saul took 3,000 able young men from all Israel and set out to look for David and his men near the crags of the wild goats, famously known.
Yes, and so remember, Saul was going to defeat David, and then he got sidetracked to go and fight these Philistines, and now he's come back with 3,000 men against. At this point, David had 600, right?
Right.
And he's off to find David.
Okay. Cool. All right. So even though he was at the crags of the wild goats, verse 3, he came to the sheep pens along the way. And a cave was there, and Saul went in to relieve himself.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy story.
Just weird.
Yeah.
David and his men were far back in the cave, so they were hiding where you pee. Basically, is all I've got right now.
And you don't know how many men. You think, is this cave big enough that he and all of his 600 men?
Yeah, 600 guys. Shh.
Standing against the wall of the cave. Yeah.
So weird.
But we don't know how many men were with David at that particular moment.
Yeah. Verse 4, the men said, this is the day that the Lord spoke of when he said, I will give your enemy into the hands for you to deal with as you wish. Then David crept up, unnoticed, and cut off a corner of Saul's robe.
Yeah, so nobody knows exactly where this is the day the Lord spoke of when he said, I'll give your enemy into your hands. Like, we don't have any other record of God saying that, or a prophet saying that, or anything.
Right.
So they don't know if it's just their interpretation. You're going to be king, and now the king is at your mercy. He's back there going to the bathroom, and you can just go up and kill him.
Yep.
The intriguing thing here, of course, is you can hardly picture this, can you?
Yeah.
David creeping up behind him while he's going to the bathroom and cutting off a piece of his robe, and then creeping back into the cave without him realizing it.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre image.
Yeah. Well, clearly Saul had his iPhone out, and he was checking Facebook. Oh, hang on a second. That's a little too far, isn't it? Sorry. Yeah.
But you gotta give David some, Apache stealth.
Yeah.
The way he did this. So.
But David being David, here's what we read in verse 5. Afterward, David was conscience-stricken for having cut off a corner of his robe. He said to his men, the Lord forbid that I should do such a thing to my master, the Lord's anointed, or lay my hand on him, for he is the anointed of the Lord. With these words, David sharply rebuked his men and did not allow them to attack Saul. And Saul left the cave and went his way.
Yeah, and like Saul's still in this cave. I don't know how Saul's still in the cave. I don't know how quietly he's saying this. How he's don't do this again. Don't go and get him. I'm upset with you for making me do this.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's kind of a weird. And then Saul leaves, and I do love David's conscience.
Yeah.
Uh, through all of this, he still cares about this man,
Yeah.
and he very much cares that God had made him king,
Yeah.
and he seems to very much believe that his time as a king will come in God's timing, not by anything he does.
Right. Yes.
So there's a
Yes.
lot of, I mean, David screws up a few times in his life, but there's a lot of things that make you think he was just a good guy.
Yeah. 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 As long as your beautiful wife doesn't bathe herself on a roof, you're going to be fine in David's hands. I
Yes, yeah.
digress, though. Verse 8. David went out of the cave and called out to Saul, "My lord the king." When Saul looked behind him, David bowed down and prostrated himself with his face to the ground. He said to Saul, "Why do you listen when men say David is bent on harming you? This is the day that you have seen with your own eyes how the Lord delivered you into my hands in the cave. Some urged me to kill you, but I spared you. I said, lay I will not lay my hand on my Lord, because he is the Lord's anointed. See, my father, look at this piece of your robe in my hand. I cut off a corner of your robe, but did not kill you. See, there is nothing in my hand to indicate that I am guilty of wrongdoing or rebellion. I have not wronged you, but you are hunting me down to take my life. May the Lord judge between you and me, and may the Lord avenge the wrongs you have done to me, but my hand will not touch you. As the old saying goes, from evildoers come evil deeds, so my hand will not touch you.
Yeah. It's kind of a mixed thing that he's saying there, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's, he's, he's still saying, look, I could have killed you, man. And I didn't. But then he stands out, and he must have had a lot of courage, because he stood out. Remember, he's still got his 3,000 men there.
Yeah,
He could have said, okay, we got them trapped at the back of this cave. Let's just go and kill them all. Or is he that confident in their ability to think, yeah, 3,000 against us, we still got the upper hand here?
yeah.
Does he feel safe, or is this just a part of his conscience before Saul?
Mm, mm. Good
And
point.
even with that, he's willing to say, you're in the wrong here. I'm not doing anything to harm you. You're in the wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of crazy, really. Kind
It,
of, the whole thing is kind of crazy.
oh, it's so crazy. But David adds more. Against whom, this is verse 14, against whom has the king of Israel come out? Who are you pursuing? A dead dog, a flea? May the Lord be our judge and decide between us. May he consider my cause and uphold it. May he vindicate me by delivering me from your hand.
So he's still mad at Saul.
Yeah,
Like he calls him father earlier, which most people think is because he was his father-in-law. But it could be an expression just of reverence,
hmm,
because he loves the man. And yet he's still confident enough. Like, what do you think I am, a dead dog or a flea?
hmm,
Like, come on, man.
yeah,
I really know what I'm doing with this sword. Like, do you not remember this type of stuff? It's kind of neat, really, in a way.
yeah.
He uses an expression twice here. Here he says, "May the Lord decide between you and me," and in the last couple of verses, he said something very similar.
May the Lord be our judge and decide between us.
Yeah, may the Lord be our judge and decide between us. Very similar to Jacob and Esau.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay,
Well, remember, may the Lord be between you and me when we were absent from one another.
right.
Was a similar kind of, like, let God judge this situation.
Hmm,
A
hmm.
little different, but
Very
like,
similar.
let God judge this situation. Yeah. So I like David. He is not just humble. Look, woe is me. I'm nothing. He's like, no, 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 no. You're not dealing with just a boy here, sunshine.
Yeah,
And yet, I will not do anything to you. I care about you. I care about what God has done. But from evil doers go evil deeds, and that's what you've been doing. So he still calls them out.
yeah,
He's respectful. He still calls them out.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Great, great
It's
point
almost
there.
yeah. They have this expression. What is that? Speaking to power.
Hmm, hmm.
And this is the way he's chosen to speak to power.
Oh, well said, my friend. Verse 16. When David finished saying this, Saul asked, "Is this your voice? Is that your voice, David, my son?" And he wept aloud. "You are more righteous than I," he said. "You have treated me well, but I have treated you badly. You have just now told me about the good you did to me. The Lord delivered me into your hands, but you did not kill me. When a man finds his enemy, does he let him get away unharmed? May the Lord reward you well for the way you have treated me today. I know that you will surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel will be established in your hands. Now swear to me by the Lord that you will not kill off my descendants or wipe out my name from my father's family."
Crazy, just crazy. Um, like there's something wrong in this guy's head, right? You know, like this kind of a turnaround, this repentance that he did, this total turnaround of, yeah, David, I don't understand. Is that your voice, David, my son? I mean, I don't know where they're at. I thought he was just looking at him at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, but 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 then he says, you're more righteous than I, which is absolutely true in this case. You know, you've not harmed me when you could, and I swear, I'm gonna. He's repenting of this. He actually says you're going to be king one day. So maybe that message is out throughout Israel that he's been anointed king. I
Mm.
don't know. Maybe at this point, it is out everywhere. And he says, please don't hurt my descendants or wipe out my family's name. Um, uh, it's kind of good, and it's a total repentance. This is a man who's now totally repentant. And I thought maybe he never hunts David again, but I just took a quick look forward, and yeah, that's not right. He goes after him again. So he can't keep a thought in his head for very long, old Saul. And it is too bad, because remember, he's the big, good-looking, strong,
Yeah.
wonderful leader of Israel that has just fallen apart,
Yeah.
absolutely fallen apart.
Well, and
Yeah,
like you've emphasized all the way through this part of First Samuel, Saul flips back and forth constantly between obeying God and not obeying God, and you know acting rashly and repenting of it, and then acting rashly again. So here we are.
yeah, yeah. And David still doing what they. So it seems like if you just don't let these guys actually become king, they do a pretty good job. But they do fall apart as the power
uh,
comes upon them.
yeah. Yeah.
And you'll find that with David later on here as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, folks, the chapter concludes with this. So David gave his oath to Saul. Then Saul returned home, but David and his men went up to the stronghold.
Yeah. So Saul leaves, and David still does his thing, and he keeps that promise to Saul later on through Mephibosheth.
Yeah.
So there you go.
My friend, thanks for that. That was fantastic. What a great story of, like you said, David being so honorable that he does not take his life, and Saul being so repentant that he weeps aloud, and yet tries to kill him later. But anyway. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you again, buddy. Folks, as always, we are happy to do this for you. We find joy in doing it. We're thankful that you're with us. We'll be taking a break next week. And I didn't even tell the good doctor that we're taking a break next week, but we're taking a break next week as I am traveling. But we'll be back the week after that with more of the Apoco-Larry podcast. So until then, I was Steve, he was Larry, and this is the Apoco-Larry podcast.